line.
Welcome to the Patriot Podcast, and this is my special guest tonight, Carl. And if you want the whole song on that, Carl, just go to Spotify and look up Striker, and the name of the song is "Best of the Best of the Best."
Yeah, I've got a few songs I gotta throw into my song list from America's Got Talent because the songs are that good. But yeah, I was actually digging the fucking rock music. So
Yeah. The name of the band that plays that is their name is Striker, and the name of the song is "Best of the Best of the Best."
it sounded like a late '80s, early '90s metal band.
Yeah,
Like
I
it was
know.
very. You can sit there and start jamming along to it.
Yeah,
I
they
can't
just
headbang anymore, but
the this song just dropped last year.
wow. Let me switch over to comments. Okay, now if any comments come through, I can see them too.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll let you kick off this uh, nice little round of shutdown drudgery.
okay. Well, first of all, if I may, I would like to point out one thing.
Okay.
I mentioned it to my YouTube viewers, and now I got to find it. Um, NSPM-7. I would like to let everybody know right now that it's not an executive order, it's a presidential memorandum. And the ideology behind it, I disagree with. But the actual memorandum
Yeah.
doesn't, the memorandum itself does not condemn everybody. The ideology behind it does, though. Because
Yeah.
if you're anti Christian, anti conservative, anti Trump, anti Republican, anti family, and all this other, or if you're all these things, then you are, then they will try to mark you as a threat
Domestic
against,
terrorist. Yeah.
well, kind of, but not quite. They'll start taking more interest in you if you don't meet all of their qualifications. They want everything to be traditionally conservative.
Yeah.
Now, having said that it's not a presidential executive order, which is what all these other people were saying, they're messing it up. It's a memorandum. It's not an executive order because he couldn't pass this as an executive order. It's
Yeah.
illegal to pass. When I read it, it's like I had to script back to the top and realize it's a memorandum, not an executive order, because an executive order like this would be illegal
Yeah.
because of what it says they're not standing for. Their ideology is listed on there. So yeah. Next up, I don't know what you have to say about that particular subject, but I figured you wanted to talk about the government shutdown.
Yes. The government shutting down. It shut down at midnight last night, or should I say midnight tonight. Uh, the Democrats are trying to get
Okay, you're
the
blurting out, dude.
Okay, the Democrats are trying to get the Republicans to put in the uh, continuing resolution health care, including the Affordable Care Act premium tax cuts. The Republicans are saying, why put something in that's for December in September's continuing resolution? They want a clean CR. And the government will only be funded until November 27th.
You just froze.
Okay. I'm dancing.
You just froze, dude. I heard until they.
Okay.
That's literally how you looked. So we didn't. I didn't hear anything. So I'm assuming your listeners didn't hear anything. I don't know if anybody's actually watching yet.
Okay. The clean CR that the Republicans are trying to push.
Okay, explain what CR is first.
Continuing resolution. Basically just kicking the can down the road.
Now, is that what we need to be doing during this shutdown?
No.
Now, why don't we need to be kicking the can further down the road? Yeah, it's critical thinking skills.
Because it hurts not only it hurts Americans more. Yeah, the top 1% don't give a shit. What it's doing is hurting the lower middle class. Instead of coming up with a resolution that would fund the government for the next year, this resolution would only fund it until November 27th. 1 month.
This resolution, the stopgap for Republicans, means that they want to, in my opinion only, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but in my opinion, the government shutdown right now is aimed to get us just where we need to be. That way they can enjoy Halloween and then Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving, like, well, we need to make a new deal. No, you need to fucking buckle down and make a budget or whatever it is that supplies the government with the funding it needs to keep running for another year or two, not 7 fucking weeks.
Yeah.
And Republicans don't want that. We only want this on this. Just like you heard about the Trump meeting with the Democrats, right?
Yeah, he told them to go fuck themselves.
Not in so many words, but it was unsuccessful because they don't want to kowtow to the cult of personality that is the Tangerine Tyrant. But Velveeta Voldemort wants them to bow down, kiss the ring, and just barely keep us funded until the next government shutdown. It's like, how are these fucking people representing us? Democrats, I get. I'm not fully on board with the Democrats right now.
Yeah.
Like I have issues with certain Democrats.
Chuck Schumer. Yeah, a bot popped in.
Check your comments.
Yeah, I know a bot popped in because I'm streaming on YouTube and Kick. So a bot from Kick popped in.
It's get rid of that shit, dude. That's stupid. I do it, but I can't do it from my end. Would you like more viewers? Yeah, you know how many fucking offers I've had from that on my channel? And then it's, would you like more viewers? Oh, here, we want you to pay this much to do your... Fuck you. I'm not paying to put my content out. That's why I left. That's why I don't do other paid-for services. My content is free. And I'm still not getting paid for my content on... now I forget the name of the fucking app. Give me a second.
TikTok?
No, Substack.
Substack.
I'm on Substack now. I post videos and all that to there. So I posted opinions. And yeah, I don't give a shit about what anybody else's opinion is. I'm stating my opinion. My opinions aren't very popular until they are. And then all of a sudden I'm the second coming of Jesus, which I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not the second. I'm just ahead of the curve. But I digress. With Velveeta Voldemort, he wants them to come up with a solution that gets us to the next date. Why don't we have government representation that funds us for long enough so that we forget we had a shutdown?
Yeah.
Because Velveeta Voldemort and the Stay Puft Couch Fucker want to keep things as funded as minimally as possible. That way, they keep lining their pockets.
Stay Puft Couch Fucker.
Have you ever looked at JD Vance's face? That little neat double chin with that little bit of stubble. Who the fuck does he look like? Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Just put a Navy hat on it. And I have made your night.
I'll never look at the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man again the same way again.
Yeah, especially when he's assaulting furniture.
And of course, you've got Russell Vought, who is the director of the Office of Management and Budget, who is also one of the chief architects for Project 2025. And
did you hear how much of Project 2025 they actually managed to start getting passed?
Last time I heard 40%.
47% as of yesterday.
And do you know why that is?
Because we've got a spineless Supreme Court who's owned by Trump, as well as the House and Senate that won't buck him on anything because they want to return to 1930s America.
That, and it's also because of Captain Cankles. His health is not very good. Apparently, according to a former White House aide who walked out, he takes daily intravenous treatments. That's why his hands all black and blue. He's got
your screen froze. I was just letting you know your screen froze for a second or two.
He's got intravenous sufficiency, stage 4. He's got congestive heart failure. He's got poor circulation, and I actually heard something yesterday that kind of hit it on the head. The reason why they're moving so fast to roll out Project 2025 is because Trump may not last 3.5 more years, because Project 2025 was supposed to be a slow rollout through his entire presidency.
You froze. You're not froze now. I'm just saying you froze up there for a second.
Yeah. Project 2025 was supposed to be rolled out slowly through his entire presidency. Well, now that he has cankles, poor circulation, congestive heart failure, has to take 9 different medications daily just to stay alive. They have sped it up.
Don't forget the spray tan and the hair dye.
Yeah, the spray tan and the hair dye. They have sped it up because Trump may not last 3.5 more years. That's why they're doing the warp speed with Project 2025, because he may not see it all fulfilled.
You bubbled out there for a second and your screen froze. So
yeah, he may not see it fulfilled. So that's why they're doing the warp speed on it.
Now, as a continuance of this timeline of Trump abashing, the meeting with all of the top brass of the military with Hegseth and Donald Trump, the standards that they put out, only the top physical male requirements will be met. Well, what's your take on that? I know what mine is, but what's your take?
Well, the head of the military, which is Trump, probably couldn't even go a brisk jog. He is so hefty. Maybe if you put like a Big Mac in front of him on a stick with a string.
Diet Coke, please. I need an order of fries with that.
Yeah, because I mean he brags about eating nothing but Big Macs and drinks Diet Coke. Maybe you get a large stick with a string on it and with a Big Mac on the end of it and dangle it in front of him and watch him run after it.
Now he'd have a personal assistant just come out and hand him a cheeseburger or a Big Mac. Um, my thoughts on it are if the top brass is required to meet the highest levels of male performance in the military,
Hmm.
start from the top up, not from the bottom up. Start from
Yeah.
the top down. Trump can't even do one pull up. One sit up, I'm pretty sure he'd shard himself.
Do you know he now wears the colostomy bag around too?
Don't know, don't care. His health issues. When he tells us that the doctor says he's in perfect health, and you have a doctor coming on, the president is in perfect health. There's no reason to think he can't fulfill his duties. Dude, make him do the physical requirements for a military leader. They do you know what their running regimen is supposed to be?
Like what 5 miles?
They're supposed to jog uninterrupted for 5 miles. Unless I'm mistaken, the last time I was in JRTC, which was like junior year of high school,
Hmm.
you had to run a 1 minute mile in less than 8 minutes.
Wow.
You can jog that easily.
Hmm.
He would make it around the curve of a running thing, of a mile pacer,
Hmm.
and be winded before he got like 6 steps. Like, I need a break. I need a Diet Coke. Bring me a Big Mac. Maybe some fries, no salt. Then I'll have the stamina to keep going. Dude, do we need to like inject you with spray tan? Like, this guy is the most unfit president we've had in shit, what, 50, 60 years at least?
Yeah.
You'd have to go back to like the big fatter presidents to find a president more out of shape than this guy was. Like, could you see Washington, Lincoln, or if you want to invoke really stupid shit, invoke Teddy Roosevelt? Teddy
Yeah.
Roosevelt could run a mile uninterrupted.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, he ran a mile in 4 minutes and 40 seconds. That's for a portly guy. He was in
Yeah.
shape.
Yeah. Well, he was also, don't forget, he was also a an avid hunter of big game too.
Dude, he did so many sports. I mean, he had children all over the White House and was able to keep up with all of them.
Yep.
Like, he was very physically active. So for being a portly guy,
Hmm.
he could move. He could, if he needed to run, he could break out in a full blown run and beat whoever he was running against.
Yep.
Trump cannot say the same thing. He is so out of shape. He'd be asking for fucking intravenous Diet Coke injections. I need the caffeine. Hit it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's now there is one thing, I was kind of happy about that the Supreme Court did rule against him on. He was trying to get the Fed the assistant Fed chair governor fired from her job so he could go in there and manually manipulate
You're bleeping
uh,
in and
the
out.
Okay, he wanted to fire the assistant Fed chair governor so he could go in there and manually manipulate the interest rates.
You're talking about that. Are you talking about the white chick who was in charge of the statistics, or the black chick who he tried to fire and she won on appeal?
That one.
The black chick.
Yeah.
And what's sadder is I told you, as we talked about that right as it happened, and I told you that she could what she was being fired for, she couldn't be fired for, and Supreme
Yeah.
Court ruled that she couldn't be fired for it.
Yeah. And dude, Trump is apparently Trump is now boiling mad at the Supreme Court because they ruled against him on that specific case because he tried to fire her again. So she went back to the Supreme Court and says that last ruling where you said I wasn't able to be fired. He's trying to fire me again. So it was 6-3. It was Amy Coney Barrett, three of the liberal justices, John Roberts and Brett Kavanaugh. They all sided with her and told Trump that he couldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, they can't exactly.
My sidekick for the night stepped away for a minute.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, sorry, I had to go relieve myself. Shit happens. But yeah, as far as them ruling that she was right and he had no place to fire her, that already told you he wasn't allowed to do that. He wants to control all the information. He wants to control all the data. Just like the thing about them getting express permission to release certain stories from the Pentagon, means they're trying to control information on a mass scale. Like they're not, if they report a story that's not explicitly permissed, by an official, then they can't report it. Otherwise, they'll have their Pentagon clearance revoked.
Oh, you mean the quote unquote Department of War now?
Yes, and apparently, according to the White House, it's a return to the Department of War from the Department of Defense. That is the alpha male mentality, just like with Pete Hegseth saying only the highest male standard of combat readiness will be maintained.
Yeah.
Most of the career military generals and whatever that were in that meeting, they were coming up in the military back when I graduated high school 26 years ago. Yes, I know I'm old. Fuck off. They've all been serving for long term, and the reason that they all laughed and they stood, the reason they were silent most of the time during that address by Hegseth and Trump, they lose their rank, their pay, their benefits. They lose everything if they walk out. If I've been there 40 fucking years, I won't leave because I'm hoping that this geriatric old spray tanned Velveeta Voldemort looking motherfucker will die before I have to worry about that. And God forbid, fucking some other idiot gets voted in office, because I don't see a Republican being voted in for a while after this presidency. But they're career guys. They know when to shut their fucking mouths.
Yeah, just like Trump said, this is the quietest room I've ever walked into before. Normally people are clapping and laughing.
Because they're not, those are his, that's his base. They're easily duped, easily convinced. And the military guys are like, we're going to listen to you. We're going to hear what you say. We're going to laugh at your jokes, even if they're shitty. Because we've been in this position longer than you've been in any position your entire life.
Yeah, and he said, and Trump said, maybe some people need to lose their ranks if you don't laugh at my jokes.
I don't know. I didn't hear that part of it, but if he threatens them for not laughing at his jokes, that's not a good thing. That means that they're there because they have to be there. And that also usually tells you that they consider the president a big, fat, fake, spray tanned, cankle owning dipshit in office.
Yeah, and because this former 4-star general was on the briefing with Jen Psaki last night, and he said, and I quote, uh, he said this isn't a support rally for supporters. This is a bunch of military generals and high-ranking officers. They are conditioned to sit there, uh, listen, clap, and then at the end stand up and salute and walk out.
Yeah, they're trained to put up with shit. And they know how to deal with fragile egos, especially narcissistic egos.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most of these generals have met with tyrannical leaders all over the world,
Saddam Hussein,
tyrannical regimes all over the world.
yeah, like
Exactly. They've met the worst of the worst. The only person they haven't fucking met is Hitler.
yeah.
That's how old most of these guys are. They've met everybody but Hitler. There's a couple of guys in there who probably met Pol Pot.
Oh wow.
These are not young guys. They know how to grit their teeth. They know how to sit there and look like they're listening. They know how, if they're threatened, they know how to laugh. They know how to accommodate their audience, even if they don't believe in what that person is saying. They're going to play good boy and do what they got to do to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I want your thoughts on this real quick.
42.
Trump, Trump wants to reinvade Afghanistan and retake Bagram Air Base. Now, mind you, the Taliban, who's running the country now, but because of the pullout in 2021, are telling the president's chief of staff, Secretary of State, this agreement, right, and they showed him this agreement right here was signed by Donald Trump, and it was the Doha agreement, and
the Doha agreement.
Yeah, the Doha agreement, and the prime minister for Afghanistan says, if you go back and renege on the Doha agreement, that is an act of war.
You're blittering out, dude. You have to repeat that whole statement because I didn't hear or see any of it.
Basically, the prime minister of Afghanistan told Marco Rubio, if
no, I'm saying you said if they reneged and then
okay, the prime minister told Marco Rubio if they go back on the Doha agreement, that is an act of war.
Okay, see that now that makes sense. I couldn't hear that before. I don't know about your audience, but I didn't hear that part. I can only work on what I hear. So
yes, and the prime minister told Marco Rubio, tell the president to think very carefully on this.
The president has made so many missteps because he thinks he's an uber alpha male who needs a porn star to get him off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's married to a fucking supermodel that he feels he has this uber male right to say, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Just like I'm getting so much information about the shutdown, like Jimmy Kimmel. The whole Jimmy Kimmel situation was a what the fuck moment for America.
Yeah.
Try to get my lighter to light. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But yeah, like with the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing, did you actually sit down and watch his opening night monologue when he came back?
Yeah, and my God, it was a blistering fucking attack on on Brendan Carr, the FCC chairman. It was a blistering against Trump, uh, and he was taking up the free speech mantle. Jimmy Kimmel was, and I mean, I really fucking liked it. 6 million people tuned in the night he came back.
6.7 million. I actually looked up the numbers. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I gotta get a lighter.
Go get a lighter.
I am, damn it.
So, how's everyone doing on YouTube and Kick tonight?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. Yeah, for me, as I said to my followers on all social media platforms,
Yeah.
I'm not a Jimmy Kimmel fan. You already know I don't like Jimmy Kimmel. I don't find him funny. Like one out of every 10,000 jokes,
Yeah.
might be funny. But them taking him off the air because he wasn't good enough for ratings.
No. The way they put it, he was taken off the air because of a comment he made about Charlie Kirk.
That's not what the president said. I'm going by what the president said right now.
Yeah. The president said that he has low ratings and he sucks and and the actual reason was he was taken off the air was a remark that he made about Charlie Kirk. He made a joke, but it wasn't directly pointed at Charlie Kirk. It was kind of indirectly pointed at Charlie Kirk. The joke was.
And was Jimmy Kimmel's response to that comment and everything didn't it seem genuine?
Yeah.
Like he was trying to keep from crying about the incident. It's like I got canceled because I made these comments about Charlie Kirk. I'm not okay with the fact that his life was taken. But at the same time, you can't stymie free speech.
Yeah. And I watched his monologue last night about the government shutdown, and the way he put it in his monologue is not just the Republicans' fault about the shutdown. He said I do blame Democrats as well for the shutdown, but he said at the same time, he said the Democrats are trying to save health care for millions of people. With the ACA premium tax credit, and the Republicans are trying to torpedo health care for millions of people.
They don't want anything Obama related to be a thing.
Yeah, and Trump stated earlier today that that SNAP, right? Food stamps.
Yep.
It'll be paid out for the month of October. But if the shutdown continues past October 25th, there will be no food stamps until the government opens back up.
And that's on him for not being a deal maker.
Mm-hmm.
He claims to be one of the greatest deal makers ever, but yet he can't solve this simple thing because his agenda and his thoughts need to be expressed and condoned by Congress.
Yes.
He expects his agenda to be followed strictly because he is the all-time god of everything. It's like, dude, we're running a country, not a company.
Yes, and
like he also said that we could default on our loans to other countries. Like the problem is the last time that happened, the stock market almost crashed.
Yes, and I don't know if you've heard about it yet. You probably have. He has put 100% tariff on semi trucks that are built in other countries. He's also put 100% tariff on home furnishings that's not built in America.
He's also put 100% tariff on movies that aren't strictly made in America.
Yeah.
That's him trying to flex his muscle. If you've done your history reading, which I doubt you have, but I have, because I had to go to some sort of college. I don't remember which one it was now, but they asked us to do a essay on leaders from the past, and I did a report on the culture of Hitler. Hitler did every single thing that Trump is doing. Trump's borrowing from his playbook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now I don't know if you've heard about this. It's happening in Florida and in Pennsylvania. Autistic children are being coaxed into therapeutic summer camps, and once they're in there, they never come out. The parents are trying to fight the state of Florida to get their children back from a quote unquote therapeutic summer camp, and they're being told by
autism isn't autism has been not the result of culture.
Yes. What these autistic kids are going into is basically a concentration camp for the what's his fucking RFK Jr. said that in these therapeutic camps they can be cured of autism.
How?
By never coming out.
That's not therapy. That's a lifelong prison sentence.
Yes, and these parents in Florida are fighting the state to get their children back.
I am doing research on the way back of autism. I'm trying to look at facts and figures. The problem is a lot of the places that had those figures are now their websites are now being scrubbed clean and eliminated by this administration and RFK Jr. specifically.
Now,
and they hold reliable information on autism, and it leads, when you look
genetics.
at all the reports, it leads you to believe that it's genetic, that it's a breakdown of genetics somewhere.
Yeah.
Along the line.
Now, with these therapeutic camps, it basically boils down to what it is, what they are tricking these kids and the parents into doing is these therapeutic camps are basically modern day concentration camps.
Now, see, I wouldn't go as far as to say they were concentration camps. Mind you, I haven't looked this story up. I haven't done any research because I've been working all the time. I wouldn't call it a concentration camp unless you can verifiably, statistically, or physically prove that it is that. And no, I'm not being politically correct. I'm relying only on fact.
Now, what would you call it?
Verifiable fact and numbers. Nothing else.
What would you call it then? A re-education camp?
Possibly, but calling it a concentration camp means they leave dead.
Well, these kids are not even allowed to go home.
I get that. I understand what you're saying, but it has to meet the criterion of a concentration camp being overworked, underfed, physically abused, and killed in mass.
Yes, and the same thing's happening in Pennsylvania. That there, mind you, parents who are refusing to send their autistic children to these camps are having CPS called on them, and CPS stepping in and taking these kids to the camps because the parents are refusing to let their kids go there.
But you see my standard of calling it a concentration camp?
Yes.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm simply pointing out I don't feel comfortable calling that until there's verified evidence of that.
Yeah.
It's not a denial at all. If if they start shipping trainloads of dead children and doing mass burials, yes, I will call it a concentration camp every fucking day until they stop. But I can't do that because it's not a verified fact. There's no evidence of that yet. Am I denying it's a concentration camp? No, I'm not. I'm merely going on the evidence
Okay.
based
Now,
on our past experience as humans, knowing what a concentration camp is, what the conditions are, and how they leave how they leave these detainment centers, if you will.
yeah. Now, can you maybe lean towards maybe re-education camp? Because these are it is labeled a therapeutic camp.
I would say, even if it's called therapy, if they're not being allowed contact with their families and their families are not allowed to collect them, I would say that's a detainment center, which is one step below concentration camp. I get that. I completely understand the difference between the two. That's why I'm not calling it a concentration camp, because there's not a lot of dead bodies.
Yeah.
They're not working the children to death or shooting them or beating the crap out of them, as far as we know. That's where the evidence part comes in. If they show evidence of that, we'll call it concentration camp for an entire fucking episode of both your podcast and mine. I'll invite you to say it every 10 seconds. But I like to do evidence-based stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, does that make sense? It's a scientific method. Because you can't tell me I'm wrong.
No, I can't tell you that you're wrong. But
I'm not one to jump on certain things, and that's one of those things I don't want to. I don't want to jump on a grenade to find out, like in Captain America, the first Avenger, that it's a dummy grenade you're jumping on.
Yeah, but I do want to get your thoughts on what if you were in these parents' position, what would you do, and what would your thoughts be on what's going on?
Give me one moment. I gotta take a quick bathroom break. Okay.
Okay.
Then I will answer my comments.
This is a routine when we do a podcast together. Hello, one viewer.
Watch the one viewer be a bot, right?
Yeah, and it's over on Kick. But no,
Okay.
I wanted to,
Sorry about that. Yeah, how would I react as a parent to that? Number one, unless they're very heavily armed, expect a fight. You take my kid away saying that I'm abusing my kid in your CPS, you have to meet certain criteria, and I would tell the police they have to meet certain criteria.
Yeah.
If those criteria are not met, then not only will I invite the police to join me, I would encourage them to join me in fighting back, because you ain't taking my kid for any good goddamn reason that you can't explain. Well, you're not taking my kid. Is well fed, she is clothed, she is housed, she wants a lot of things, but she gets what she needs, and she's in an honors class in middle school. Like, she's in 6th grade and already in an honors class.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm sorry, but we think she's autistic. I don't give a shit what you think; it's what you can prove.
Yeah.
And I'm raising my daughter to have the emotional capacity to be able to critically think about her situations,
Yeah.
and she does it quite well. She's becoming a mini me. She's learning to critically think about things well before I ever thought about them. She's solving problems I couldn't even fathom figuring out and coming up with answers to them
Oh, wow.
because of those skills that I've taught her all her life. And to a point, my daughter, when she was in her slightly younger years, showed signs of being autistic. I had to go back. I had to watch The Accountant too,
Yeah.
and noticed that she shared several things with the autistic children in that movie, and discovered that my daughter might have been autistic, but I keep pushing that envelope a little further. Not a lot. I don't expect her to do
Yeah.
superhuman things. It's here. Okay, you did this. Go a little bit further. The next time, go a little bit further. The next time, go a little bit further. The next time, okay, you cry. We step back a step, and then we go a little further. Go a little further. That adds up being a huge deal because she can do things other kids can't.
Yeah. Kind of like that saying, and then what? You achieved your dreams, and then what? You got to a specific point in your life, and then what?
And I want her to view life as that. It's okay, we've done that. What's the plan for the next series of steps? She still wants to be president.
I mean,
And I've
you as
told her there are steps to doing that. Really tiny steps. You got to take each tiny step. Every time you take that tiny step, have the next step planned and the next step and the next step to the big plan. Then when you get one step away from that big plan, you start planning out the steps after that.
yeah,
Oh, you need to have a plan in place.
yeah. The then what?
Yeah, never be completely satisfied when you take the plunge. It's going to be scary. It's going to be nerve wracking. You're going to have issues, but what you do about those issues matter
Yeah,
in the following steps. And those big milestones, as soon as you hit those, you already need to have a plan for that. That way you have
yeah,
a succeed, even if it's, oh my God, I won the local election. What do I do now? You should have already had that planned out.
yeah,
Always have that reservation. Okay, if I win it, this is what I'm going to do.
yeah.
And then do that step by step by step.
Yep. Now, I want to get your thoughts on the enemies within.
Are we talking about the Final Fantasy movie?
No. Um, yesterday in that meeting that Trump was speaking, and it was basically nothing but his personal grievances he was talking about to these generals. He wants to use American cities as training grounds for the
Because they're
National
so
Guard.
corrupt and so violent, and there's so much crime, and we're going to lower that because we're there with the military.
Yeah, he wants to use
Unfortunately, he can't usurp the military to serve as the police. It's
no,
against the law
yeah,
everywhere.
he wants to, the way he put it, use cities as training grounds for the military for when they go overseas and fight. And he told these generals yesterday it's time to attack the enemy within.
The problem is the enemy's not within versus his opponents. He's weaponized the DOJ.
Yeah.
He's going after his political opponents. He's going after anybody who stands up to him. That's not being a president. That's
Yes.
being an authoritarian dictator.
Yes. And there's supposed to be a No King's Day protest going on all across the country sometime this month. And Trump is already talking about rolling out the National Guard in each city where the No Kings protest is going on to quote unquote quell the dissent.
He can't quell a peaceful protest. It's actually constitutionally illegal to do
Yes.
that.
He thinks that if he sends in ICE and if he sends in the National Guard, he can get these protesters uh, to start violent interactions with ICE and with the National Guard.
Okay, the problem with that is how many of these protests have you been to here?
I've been to a couple, and they're always peaceful. People just standing there with signs. That's it.
People standing there with signs and shouting, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And what are the cops doing? The cops are there in force. Are the cops doing anything but standing there?
Nope.
Their only responsibility is to keep the peace. If no violence is breaking out,
Hmm.
they can't do shit.
Yep.
And the same with the National Guard. The National Guard cannot be rolled out as a show of force to discourage people. If people are peaceably protesting, they're waving signs and shouting, but they're not getting physically violent. Is the National Guard allowed to do anything?
No.
Which is why it's so interesting because Trump said Trump says that on January 6th he approved the National Guard to go in. The problem is he only did that once the violence stopped, and the violence was on his side, not on the Democrats' side.
Yep.
He literally waited until his followers stopped being violent. Then you call them the national. I'm sorry, that screams authoritarianism.
Yeah.
Well, my people won't be stopped. The others will be. How many Democrats were stopped?
None.
Not a fucking singular one. And he pardoned all the January 6th people.
Yeah, and now they're all part of ICE.
Yeah, and like I told you yesterday, just for your viewers to catch them up, we talked about these yesterday. ICE officers, ICE and immigration, whoever's wearing a mask, they have to have a visible badge number, and if they don't have a visible badge number, they have to be showing their face. If they're showing their badge number, they can get away with wearing a mask, but there's nothing saying you can't pull that down.
But here's the thing, though: these ICE officers, none of them have badges. All they have is
By
just
law, they're required to offer identification when asked when they're not actively busy doing something. If they're standing around waiting for something to happen with their hands on their vests, and you ask them for ID or identification, that they're ICE or whatever, they have to provide it. I actually read up on this. They do have to give you that.
yes.
And if they don't, they are actually not ICE officers. They're more or less just glorified bounty hunters looking to make money off of putting people in jail. And yes, Trump has incentivized that by offering money per head.
Yes, and a lot of these quote unquote ICE agents do not have badges. All they have is flak jackets that says federal police or federal ICE.
They still have to provide their identification. They have to provide identification either with their face or with their badge number.
All these ICE agents don't have. All the ICE agents don't have the badge numbers. None in all the videos I've seen, none of them have badge numbers. None of them have badges. And Mr. Carl froze up. See if this will work. Mr. Carl, are you there? Seems like Mr. Carl froze up. I don't know what happened. You just went, and you're gone.
Dude, you went buffering and then I got kicked off.
But no, and what I was trying to say was a lot of these, from what I've been seeing, a lot of these ICE agents don't have badges. All it says on either on the back of their
And they're
flat,
required, as I was saying before, they have to give you their identification if they're not doing if they're not actively doing it. Well, we're waiting. No, you have to give me your ID
yeah,
or
because
your badge number.
yeah, because a lot of these ICE agents I've been seeing, all they have is it'll say federal ICE right here, or on the back federal police, or it'll say federal something, but no badge right here, no name right here. There'll be a flak jacket. It'll say federal ICE, or on the back federal police.
A federal police thing doesn't exist.
Yeah, no.
And they're required to either give you their face or their badge number. They're required by law to do that. Like if they were SWAT, it's a different story. But these are ICE agents, if they are ICE agents, and the president has okayed them to capture people. They get paid by the head.
Yep. Um, what I couldn't believe is that quote unquote ICE agent that shoved that lady down in the hallway and he was pointing his finger in her face. He was fired and then brought back the next day.
You said he was suspended and then
Yeah, no,
suspended.
administrative. They put him on administrative leave right after that incident happened. And then Christy Nome fired him, and then brought him back the next day because he apologized to Christy Nome.
That's paying fealty to the ring. That's kissing the ring. And he had no reason to get that physical with her. Pushing her back, doing doing a 2-arm get back, stay in arm's length, respect my personal. I wouldn't be okay with that. But he pushed her 15 foot back and pushed her onto the floor.
Yeah, she slammed
That's
against
not a
the wall.
government
Yeah,
agent.
yeah, she slammed against the wall, and then she went on the floor. Now you didn't. I think I told you about this yesterday. A CBS Chicago reporter, a local news reporter was, her cameraman was filming what was going on in downtown Chicago. Basically, the quote unquote ICE agents were harassing everybody that wasn't white, and the CBS anchor was getting it on tape. One of the ICE agents turned around and started shooting pepper balls at her and her vehicle, demanding the tape.
Which they're not allowed to do. Another incident, I just saw it today on social media. I think it was when I was on Substack of this dude. This guy is showing himself on camera. He is 300 pounds if he's an ounce. And he is fucking jacked like a goddamn bodybuilder. He goes up and slips off an ICE agent's mask and says, "Oh, now we know who you are." Points the camera directly at his face. This supposed ICE agent says he's breaking the law, and the guy says, "No, I'm not." "Yeah, you put your hands on." "No, I touched your mask and your mask only. You do not have a badge number. You don't have identification. You are not an ICE agent. You're a bounty hunter." He stands up next to it. He puts his camera up by his shoulder, and this ICE agent is a foot shorter than this guy. This guy had to be like fucking massive, like 7'3" or some shit. He's shutting up the ICE agent. "Do you really want to go there?" And next thing you know, we have 3 other agents coming in, all with face masks on. Is like, the big guy's like, "Do you really want to start this? I will pull all of your masks off and show your faces. You do not have badge numbers. You are illegally detaining people." Apparently, one of the guys took their rifle and struck him in the head, and he's straight up. You can see his camera going back. It's like, is that all you got, guys? Come on, I trained in combat. I'm a former Marine. Clothesline one of the agents, and apparently it took like 11 guys to detain him.
Oh, wow.
But he threw his phone at his wife. His wife caught it and ran and released the footage. All 3 of those guys have been identified as Proud Boys that were convicted on January 6th. So they're getting federal protection to be assholes.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you give them that power? Because they stayed with me. Well, Velveeta Voldemort, you doing that is authoritarianism.
Yeah, you see, it just goes back to what the guy on Secular Talk was saying. This is basically Trump's own private army. It's his ICE Gestapo.
It's his private SS, Gestapo.
Yeah.
He wants to control everything. He doesn't want these people identified because they are anti-American. They are so pro-Nazi, it's not even funny. But Trump wants to protect them because they stood with him when he was being politely escorted out of the White House. He wants all of his followers to have positions of power, which is why a lot of these ICE agents are Proud Boys who do not wear numbered badges. They will not show their face because they don't want to be prosecuted. And I guarantee you, if Trump gets impeached, because I got more than 3 stories today about Trump possibly getting impeached again. The problem is they can't bring those up until the midterms, because the midterms, if we see the blue tsunami, if we finally see the blue tsunami, we will see Trump not only fucking impeached, but charged with impeachment, thrown in jail, and all of his followers thrown in jail too. And that might include the vice president.
Wow.
And I would say, if you're going to impeach the president and the vice president, you may as well throw Mike Johnson in there too, because he's literally a low-grade B Bond villain.
Yeah, because if anything happens to the president or the vice president, the Speaker of the House goes straight to the presidency temporarily.
And if they start impeaching everybody, that means you have an entire regime being impeached, which means they can no longer hold power. And if I'm the Supreme Court at that time, I'm going to fucking retire. Like, as soon as Trump ends up in jail, I'm retiring. I can't be. No, I'm retiring. You can't impeach, because the Supreme Court the only way to get rid of a Supreme Court judge against their will is impeachment. Now, yes, they can be impeached too. I actually looked that up.
Now, and that's why I believe Trump is doing all this gerrymandering. He's got Missouri. Now, mind you, the governor of Missouri, who is a Republican, is against the gerrymander. There's other Senate members that are Republicans who are against the gerrymander, but you have the supermajority over there in the House that's going ahead with it, even though the governor said no, we're not doing this. I'm against this. I will veto it if it hits my desk. And the supermajority in the House said we're doing it anyway.
Okay, give me a minute. I gotta go drain the main vein.
Eh,
I know it's inconvenient, but I gotta do what I gotta do, right?
Yep. You gotta go drain the main vein.
Sorry, I literally was about to piss myself, so I had to go take care of that.
But yeah, you have Indiana, who's all on board with the redistricting.
Well, I
Utah,
did
which did it.
something. I did a thing today where I got on Substack,
Yeah.
and I went ahead and found Jasmine Crockett.
Hmm.
I sent her an email a while back following the Texas House of Representatives vote.
Yeah.
So I sent her a Substack message and asked if I could ask her a question about that, and I haven't heard back from that. I'm waiting to hear from anybody in Texas about how their vote to gerrymander, to change the gerrymandering shit,
Yeah.
how it possibly passed when they did not have a majority vote like they need.
Yeah.
Nobody will explain that to me.
Yeah. Now that the Utah Supreme Court, which is, mind you, it's a Republican Supreme Court in Utah. They have come out and told the Republicans that their gerrymandered maps will not fly. They need to come back with some more maps.
Equitable maps
Yes.
for representation.
Yes. And
yes, I do pay attention to the news.
And the Supreme Court in Utah said, if you can't come up with maps, we will.
For once, they're actually following their own constitutional statehood, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, like our representation here in Kansas with Ty Masterson,
Mm-hmm.
he's with Trump all the way. That only proves to me he's kissing the ring. He's not actually listening to the will of the people. Just like Roger Marshall has come out and started saying all this crap. It's like, dude, did you know he owns a house in Florida now?
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, he owns I think it's a $1.7 million McMansion, a small mansion in Florida. He no longer lives here. He spends most of his time in Florida. What does that tell you about our representation?
We have none. But yeah, the House here, yeah, is trying to redistrict the only Democrat, yeah, of our representation, which is Davies.
To oust her, she's trying. They're trying to oust her out of her seat by gerrymandering the map to minimize representation that she represents. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but it's not. They're trying to gerrymander her out of her position within the government so they have nothing but Republicans.
Yep. And yeah, and just like I can't remember, yeah, it was Roger Marshall. He said, I'm not sure that this would work to gerrymander that one district because we have a Democratic governor, and the Supreme Court in Kansas would probably throw that map out.
Well, gerrymandering just to fill seats that Trump controls is a sign that we're going in the wrong direction. And the fact that we have so many fucking Republicans they're willing to kiss the ring, means that we don't have representation anymore. They're supposed to be representing us as a state, not the rural farmers and the boomers who are like, well, we need this. You can't have your childhood back. Get the fuck over it. You're not going to get Norman Rockwell paintings come to life from the 1930s anymore. That era is dead.
Now, have you heard about the soybean farmers here in the U.S.? They've been selling to the soybean farmers here have been selling to China for years, and what China has done is it has bought all of its soybeans from Argentina, the Argentine farmers. So now all the soybeans,
because it's a better deal for them.
And what Trump announced was a bailout for Argentine farmers to help them. Yeah, I don't know what he wants to help them for. Our farmers here, our soybean farmers here, who just got their livelihood taken away from China. What is he going to do about the soybean farmers here in the U.S.? Instead, he wants to offer the Argentine farmers a bailout.
Well, have you heard about the farmers here in Kansas? Their crop insurance is about to double in price.
Wow.
And crop insurance is basically this. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But crop insurance states that you pay this amount, and then if your crop fails, you get this much money back. And now the prices for crop insurance have, I think, doubled. And a lot of farmers, apparently, because the government shutdown happened, now they have to rely on a new farm bill that may give them less money in payback on the back end of their crop. And some of these farmers have subsisted on that subsidy for the past 40 years. They've relied on crop insurance. That way, when their crop fails, which I think it's an average of 35% of them a year are failing to meet those goals.
Yeah.
They collect money against that. It's like, you should know you should research what crops are going to work in Kansas, period, point blank. Then the crops that will grow, you grow. That way you don't have to buy insurance.
Yeah. Like I went and did a couple of Ubers today, and one of my riders works at Cargill up here, just up here on 13th Street. And what he was telling me was because of what's going on with the soybeans in the U.S. Normally, he said they get about at least 200 trucks of soybeans a day coming in through Cargill. And he said he's noticed over the past couple of weeks that the amount of trucks is slowly diminishing. And I was explaining to him what happened with China and Argentina, and he said that's bullshit. He said what's going on is these countries no longer want to deal with us because of who's in the office.
They don't want to deal with higher tariffs because the tariffs don't cost those other countries money. It costs the importers, the companies that are here, more money. That's basic economics. Ow.
But the way he was breaking it down, he said if the soybean trucks slow to a certain point, he said the way the higher ups at Cargill was talking is they may have to start doing layoffs. because because that's what they thrive. That's what uh, they basically makes stuff for like like soybean oil, stuff to go into lotions, salad dressings at this Cargill factory. And he said if the soybean trucks he said from what the higher ups told him, if the soybean trucks get to below 50 a day, they may have to lay some people off until the
Hold
soybean
on.
production goes
Back
back
up
up.
2 sentences.
Okay.
Back up 2 sentences. You were mad blipping.
Oh, sorry.
That's why I'm telling you, you were mad blipping. I didn't understand you. I don't want your viewers to misunderstand you by not hearing the whole thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Um, Basically, what he was breaking down is if the soybean trucks that's coming
Fall
in
below
and out,
50 or
yeah,
less.
below 50 or less, Cargill will have to start laying people off, and that's coming from the higher ups.
Okay,
He
you're
said.
up. What the hell was that? It just buffered again.
I don't know. That came from your side, but yeah, and the way he
No,
put
it
it,
hit both of our screens.
he said the way he put it to me, he said it sucks. He said this guy in office was supposed to do all this good stuff when he was elected. He said now some of my friends who are Trump supporters are now saying, why the fuck did I vote for this guy?
Because he spoke to what they feared, spoke to what they wanted to hear, and didn't set realistic expectations for what was going to happen based on his wannabe bull moose. Well, I am the ultimate negotiator. If you're the ultimate negotiator, where's all these billions you're supposed to be getting in tariffs? Where the fuck are they?
Yeah, I know. Uh, Trump said trillions of dollars. You had Howard Lutnick, who's the head of NOAA. Yeah, yeah, he's saying billions of dollars. Where the fuck is it? You have you have Canada, who is
Exactly.
now.
Where the fuck is all this windfall of money we're supposed to have in the coffers? It's not coming from foreign countries. It's from us paying for all these tariffs.
Yes, and you have Canada, who's now circumventing us and is dealing with Mexico.
Yeah,
Mexico
directly.
is circumventing us and dealing with Canada. You have China, who was one of our biggest importers, is now circumventing us. You have our and mine. This freaking
Because nobody wants to deal with Trump and his one-sided economic theory.
and you have that freaking UN speech from hell telling all the world leaders that their countries are shit because they allow migration and immigration into their countries, and their countries are going to hell. They need to stop letting immigrants and migrants into their countries because their countries are now looking like shit.
Now, here's a question for you, a statistical question.
Okay.
Since these ice raids have happened at farms and whatnot, do you know how many migrant workers and illegal immigrants work our vegetable fields?
Uh, quite a lot.
Percentage wise, do you know how many of those workers are made up of immigrant or illegal migrants
I
working
would
those vegetable fields?
I would say 70 to 80%, maybe.
According to the news, all the sources I can gather, 47% of the workers are migrant or illegal immigrant workers.
Yeah, I was watching something yesterday, and had this farmer on there, uh, who had uh, who had deals with migrants for the last 30 to 35 years. They would come over. They would pick their crops, and then the farmer would let few of the migrants that were hungry take maybe a bag full of the crop back to
Yeah,
their country.
they get paid in crops as well.
And this farmer was standing there in a field with dead or dying vegetables, and he said, he said those migrant workers that faithfully worked for me for 35 years now refuse to come to work.
Because they don't want to be detained by ICE or expelled by ICE.
Yeah, um,
And you
he's
should be personally affected by that.
I know I'm half Mexican, uh, but apparently, according to Trump on birthright citizenship, as long as your one parent is white, then you're okay. If you're
No,
brown,
actually, they're challenging that too now. It's trying to work its way up to the Supreme Court. We won't have an answer for that answer until next spring or summer. I already checked on it.
wow. I'm glad I don't look fucking Mexican then.
You're still a wetback, or you're still a halfback. Now, mind you, people, I don't say wetback out of any disrespect to Robert at all. It's nothing like that. We've known each other 20 plus years now.
Yeah, almost 30. We were sitting at like 26 or 27.
And when I call him a halfback, it's because that's the name he chose for it. Wetback, I get you being angry about, but he doesn't take it as an insult. I'm just trying to clarify for any of you who are mad that I called you a wetback, but you are half Mexican.
Yes, yes.
Now you can
Hispanic,
call
yes.
me poor white trash because I have all the genes for it, and I would get if you called me poor white trash. But I've done a lot in my poor white trash life, considering I was discriminated against for having red hair. I've been fired from jobs for having red hair, so I understand the plight.
Dude, I
Like
understand
I get it.
when I was born up until I was 14, my hair was if I saw the pictures when I was a child, I had bright red hair until I was 14 and then it turned brown. Um, but no, I wouldn't say you're poor white trash. I wouldn't say that. And I would more say like you're a reject from the McLeod clan.
Well, I'm not from the McLeod clan, but thank you. I'll take the insult. Yeah, I come from the Cunningham and the Murray clan. And I understand that a lot of my distant ancestors were rich, white, wealthy landowners, and they made beer and other shit. Did they own slaves? Probably. Do I own a slave? Hell no. I'm against slavery. I was raised against the idea of slavery. My family, as far as I know, has not owned a slave in at least 5 generations on my mother's side.
Well, hey, at least you could
But
say 6 generations back they were slave fuckers.
that is so wrong. You're going to get canceled hard for that one. But do I stand on what my ancestors did? No. I reached everything in my life by hard work, determination, and work ethic. And this is the reason why when I do any video or live, I do not wear my work shirt. I do not wear the clothes that I wear when I was at work, because it's not only immoral, but it's also against the business practices of the company I work for,
Yeah.
which I will not name, and you won't either.
I don't even know the name. Um, uh, I want to get your
But
thoughts real quick.
I treat everybody the same until they give me a reason not to.
Okay. Yeah.
You could be the lowest form of trash, and I will still treat you with respect as long as you give me respect. If it's an earned thing, that we both have, me and you have known each other for years,
Yeah.
and you already know I call you names. You call me names back. You asked for advice on stuff you shouldn't because you're older than me, but we don't disrespect each other's basest things because we have that kind of respect. You don't. I don't. If I'm going to attack you on a personal level, we don't do it on the podcast at all. We don't ever bring that shit up in podcasts. We do that shit in private. That way, it's known how we feel, but we don't bring that shit into our podcasts at all. Like, there are plenty of things that we could both say about each other's lives that would be massively staining, but we don't do it.
Yeah.
At least not on air, because that's being public about whatever we're doing.
Yeah. Before we end the podcast, I want to get your thoughts real quick on something the governor of Illinois just stated here about an hour ago. He's calling for the invocation of the 25th Amendment on Trump.
All I caught was the 25th Amendment. That's the last thing I heard.
Okay. J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, within the last hour or so, is calling on the invocation of the 25th Amendment.
Do you agree with that?
A whole fucking heartedly.
Now, why? That's the important part, is why.
Well, look what he's done since he's only been in office.
Out, dude.
Okay, he's only been in office for 8 months, 9 months. He's pretty much trashed the fucking government. He's got rid of U.S. aid. He's trying to disintegrate the Department of Education. He's holding back federal funding from all the freaking states that was mandated to go out by the Congress, and he's holding all that funding back. Elon Musk with Doge cut cancer research for children. You have RFK Jr., Mr. Gravelly Voice, trying to get rid of all. Yeah, RFK Jr.
I got to RFK Jr. and then you blipped out.
I did an impersonation of RFK Jr. Mr. Gravelly Voice.
Well, the guy that sounds like he's about to have an epileptic seizure, he's got a spray tan on.
Telling women who are pregnant, don't take Tylenol, it'll give your children autism.
Even though there are decades worth of research that proves that information is false.
But still, you had Mr. Cheeto Benito up there saying and agreeing with everything that freaking RFK Jr. said. Women don't take Tylenol if you're pregnant. If there was a way for me to ban acetaminophen, I would.
And if he bans acetaminophen, I'd have to hit the drugstore right away, right?
Yeah.
No, I can't take aspirin.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
I didn't say it wasn't stupid. I've said that on my own podcast, but taking acetaminophen off the market and going with whatever the fuck he thinks is a competent replacement would probably kill me. I'm allergic to aspirin.
You have all these brain dead motherfuckers who voted for this piece of shit orange Mussolini Cheeto head son of a bitch, and he's fucking them in the end.
Of course, he's fucking them in the end because it's only Trump, and Trump is this fragile, narcissistic, egotistical fuckwad made of processed cheese that doesn't know that he's already outdated and out of commission. And with him filling up people that are yes people, he lives in a bubble. Like if he manages somehow to repeal the 22nd Amendment, there's one person we need if he repeals the 22nd Amendment. One person to run against him, and then a landslide.
Obama.
Oh, Obama would look like fucking Superman next to his ass. He's already stated he doesn't want to be president again. That he would probably turn down a third run. But my thinking is if Obama ran, dude, I'd be writing that shit in.
Now, here's an interesting thought. What about Michelle Obama?
I don't think she would do as well.
Now, I did watch. Yeah, I'll send it to you so you can watch it. I watched the interview that Kamala Harris did this past Monday night on the Rachel Maddow show. She was asked why she didn't pick Pete Buttigieg, and the way she put it, she didn't think America was ready for a gay vice president.
Which was a bad decision.
Yeah.
I saw the interview where Kamala Harris said that. It's like, dude, if you had done that, straight up, you get everybody in the LGBT community to vote for you. And two, it proves you're forward looking. So I didn't like her thing of, well, I didn't do it because the because does not outweigh the advantages.
Yeah, and she was even asked why she didn't step in when Biden announced his reelection. She said her and some of the other inner circle thought that it was him and Jill's decision, but she said she started thinking about it, and she said maybe I should have stepped up. She said it was recklessness on her part for not stepping up and stopping him from running for re-election. But I mean, she threw Biden under the fucking bus.
As she should. But I have to get off here because the news is about to come on, and I want to see what the fuck's going on there. All right.
All right. Everyone have a good night. And when can we see another Skeptical Scotsman podcast?
That should be coming up, I think, tomorrow after Hell's Kitchen, which airs at 7 p.m. So by like 8 p.m., I think I should have another episode up.
Okay.
And all that shit. So have fun and, have fun. All right.
Peace.